Hey, happy Monday, everybody. It's the 17th. Happy St. Patty's Day to those who celebrate. We're getting here at about 5 in the morning, getting our pre market push ups in, getting things ready to go for the day. This is the 240 chart on the MES Mini. Just stepping back and taking a look at the overall structure of the market, trying to get a feel for what the direction of the market, right? We have a swing here, and it looks like we might have a swing here. Despite what's going on in the news, the market is up. Um, just for context, I think that's October, November. That's when the election was, right in there. So we had an initial takeoff of that, and then people started getting nervous, ran into the pressure cooker, and I've now scoped out this. This is giving us a little bit of interesting um, structure. Just note that it didn't it took out the stops as opposed to this taking out this whole thing, right? So there's a difference between the quality of this low versus the quality of where price might be headed. We have a nice impulse and very nice pullback and another low here. So we're just kind of contextually in this little spot, right? Price could come down here and dribble down and then come back up into here. It could completely reverse and take off again, and um, make higher highs and continue to go up. But we're going to have something spectacular to happen for that. I think with the current United States political administration, there's so many cuts coming in and so many things going on. It's hard for me to believe that that's going to be the case, but I'm not. I'm a day trader, so I read about this stuff from professional economists. So, you know, um, so that's how I land on that. Here's our 740 or 750. I made a couple trades last week. I ultimately ended up at break even. I even saved a couple of them here. I had my computer crash overnight, and this is really frustrating. I'm going to get this off my chest. And things that were not crashed, but like updated. And it's so frustrating because there's things that I tried to save and they just didn't save. And so now I'm kind of in a pickle because I have to recreate this data. And it's not a lot, but come on, man. Why is it that hard? What did I do last week? Let me see if I can find a couple of these things. So Friday. That was last week, right? Friday. Our week started right in here. It's my day. I work from 7, or I should say I trade from 7 to about 11. It's kind of the 4-hour window I like to work in. Hold up, let me see where my time frame is here. 8:40, 8:35. So right in here. I posted on the channel about some hold on. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I was posting some action that I saw that was really, oh my God. There's too many pieces, too many bubbles, too many things going on. I posted on the channel. Come on, give it to me. Jesus Christ, takes forever. here. With the pressure cooker, these just pullbacks were really pretty. We had the first one was the best one. I don't know if I would have caught that, and this one was too far for me to get to. So, but that's the 7:30. Okay. So we were here, and this is where I saw this stuff. And I'm not going to recreate everything, but just follow your impulse leg. And there's that first one. So, a real nice example of the impulse, like this is my favorite trade right here. If I could just wake up in the morning and, in my little pretend land, I'd just wake up in the morning, I'd wait for this thing to show up, and then I would hit it, it would work, and I would just go about my day. But unfortunately, that's not how life works, and I'm not that good. And it's something where, and I still work on it because it's just something where you need to, right? We have our impulse leg, takes off, our shelf is beautiful, gives us a little wash, but then it drops. It doesn't hit the pressure cooker. So that's a good key right there. But then when it comes up there to take the pressure cooker or to runs into the pressure cooker, we can sit back a little bit and get our setup cleaned up and ready to go. And you're in this trade at 7:30. You're out at right around 7:40. So all of 10 minutes. And I realized that, but you could easily make a living on 10 minutes a day. It's just finding those 10 minutes, right? But that's why we practice this over and over and over again. I show up every day and I do this. Like I can just see this stuff in my sleep because I do it so often. I'm always looking for, you see a wash. Excuse me. Two of them. If you see a wash like that, and you understand the setup's really simple, right? We have 5 steps: impulse leg, shelf, wash, test the low or make a new low. Price pulls back, gives us an entry. And what's critical about this and why this works is that it gives you a stop, right? It gives you something to hide behind so that if price does keep going through, you can say, okay, maybe something's going on and I can change my, come up with a new plan. And I also like to have the ability to get out at the low because as you can see here, once the low is broken, price will turn or it could turn. Sometimes it goes and sometimes it doesn't. No one knows, but it gives you a reason. It gives you a way in and way out, which I think was something I struggled with when I was starting out. Like I didn't know things, and so now that I've spent time doing this, I'm pretty keyed in on how I'm going to pull off this trade. This one didn't really work that well. We had another one come up here, launch up, give us another wash right there. And then let's just take this one here. So that's what I posted, right? And that's just basic, setup material right there. And really the critical thing is to follow the impulse. And then I also run the 2000 side by side because I want to see the bigger picture, if that makes sense. I want to see how price is, and I do this too. I come up here with the global time scroll. So if I'm like right here, it can I can see on the 2000 where I'm at, and not that it changes the way that I trade, but it definitely makes me aware of where I'm at in the market, right? I don't want to be headed into a pressure cooker or a kill zone, or I don't want to be at the low of a kill zone, if that makes sense. Um, so that I'm not, I'm not, yeah, like, for example, this price runs into this up here, right? It's a mild high, it's not the high, but it's part of it, right? So you can see this here, this action, it's just all junky in here, right? It's not this nice flow up here. That's an impulse leg, right? See, this is why I study this stuff. And you can see the shelf, right? Shelf, takes out the high, does the retest there. So I can identify where I'm at very quickly without having to look at a lot of things. And I only trade one chart. I'm not trading 5 or 6 charts. It's too confusing for me. And it's probably, some people are better at it than others, and that's fine. I've got to be able to read a chart. So the cool thing is that when I sit here and I do this, I can see that this is where I'm at, right? So this is the pressure cooker or the impulse leg that I was talking about. And then as I came in here, I, I can see where price bounces, and I know that I'm in this pressure cooker. I could just draw this up and say, okay, this is where, right? This is kind of the range. So now I know, and this is, I didn't see this Friday, but I see it now. This is why, it's running into sellers. So I'm just sitting here trying to figure out, trades I can take. And it probably was a decent day just to chill or catch that early trade. That one at 7:30 was beautiful. That was the trade right there. Other things that I traded that day. Let me see here if I can find my stuff. So I'm here at 8:40. Yeah, so here's one that I did. I'm just going to delete this because it bothers me. I know I'm in the pressure cooker, or in the, I don't know, was it kill zone? Pressure cooker, probably. Yeah, pressure cooker. Pressure cooker's on the top, and kill zone's on the bottom. And I know people call them support and resistance, but, so I got into, or I tried to, okay, here we go. Great stuff. You guys are like, whatever. And watch this on 1.5 speed, just so you know. A little pro tip. Then that way you can cut it in half and slow it down for the stuff you really want to listen to. I'm working on it, guys. So right here, and then does this thing. And okay, so what did I trade? I got here. Drawing this up. I'm drawing this up. I take my pressure cooker, I move it over. I'm like, sweet. I got me a little shelf. Beautiful. Right? Beautiful shelf. So this is a little different, but I see it a little differently too. I see this as a big wash. And that's how I interpreted this. So I wanted to hide behind this guy. And so I got in here. I didn't try to make it, it made it really easy for me to get. And this was a super cheap stop. And I actually got in and I did it like this. I got in here. This was my stop for the other side. Right? I had this mapped up. This was my initial target or entry target, and stop. Totally fine. I'm good with it. As price takes off, I moved it up a little bit and said, okay, I'm not getting crushed. I kept my target the same. I just moved my stop. I didn't want to get, and then it took off. I'm making money. I'm feeling great. nailed another one. Going to be a great Friday. Price plows into me, right? Take my hit. Poof, great. Great. But, and it's frustrating. I deal with it. I get hit all the time, so I'm used to it. All I did was say, okay, let's see this. Maybe I've got it on the backside. Maybe I've got it maybe I'm on the wrong side. So then I did something I really don't like to do, but I was feeling pretty good. I don't know. I've got me a little I've got a wash right here. I've got an impulse. I've got a wash, right? I've got a wash. Now that I see that other pressure, we're hitting that pressure cooker from that swing on the other side. This makes more sense to me why this was a tough day, because I was selling and trading in with the sellers and the buyers, I was in the fight, right? When you're in this pressure cooker, you're in the fight. And so, um, you know, there's the one right there. It's so pretty. Sometimes you see that impulse leg or the wash right there, and then it hit and then it goes. I mean, that's just, I can see it now. I can't see it live. I'm not that good. So I took this one here, and as you can imagine, I got stopped out pretty darn fast. Right, that one just smoked me, and that was frustrating because it was like I just got hit, and then I got hit again, and I'm like, gosh darn it, you can't run your business this way. So uh, I'm following. I've got a wash here. Oh, if I would have just turned around, I could have had a nice little trade here, right? Take the boom. Oh, come on, take the boom boom. There you go. Boom. Perfect little setup right there. Just timing it. Nailed it. Right. Comes up into here. Right. Into this pressure cooker. Pokes the high, pokes the stops, and then it just runs sideways. Now, this is where I get kind of creative with myself, and I think to myself, I'm looking at this guy here, right, and we're over here in this mess. I'm in this mess right here, and price is going down, right? I okay, here's this, and then here's this. There's a bunch of stuff that's going to happen right here. So I'm like, okay, I've got room to play. This price comes up and comes down and maybe takes off, or it comes down here. It does I've made this for some reason in my mind a place of opportunity for this to happen, this to extend down here. But it didn't work out that way, because I was over here and I said, I got this impulse, and I'm like, this is kind of toppy, right? It feels like it's a top. And so I'm drawing up plans to get short. And I map this one here, and I kind of make this up, and I realize I could cut. So I got that. I put my orders here, and ultimately I got stopped up at break even, just a little in front. I was right there. Price ran into this guy, and it just got really choppy in here. And it's flowing, but I mean, it didn't. It would, it, I don't know. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. It would never. It wasn't going to make it. And then it, you know, it puttered out. And now that I think about it, I didn't get stopped out there. I got stopped out on this one because price broke and then it pulled back. So that's where that ended up. I remember this because I was watching this pullback and I was like, oh, geez. And then it took off and I was like, ugh. It's frustrating, guys. It's not clean. It's hard. It's definitely, you know. So I ended up losing, whatever, but it basically just wiped out my winning from the other day. So I was break even for the week. I didn't trade a lot. I haven't been trading a lot. I'm just kind of like, this is tough. And now that I can see this, and this is why I'm doing the 2000 tick on the side, with in conjunction with this one. So what are we thinking about today? Well, we're still in this box. I'm going to run my same setup, not changing anything. See, I push this button and it's supposed to get me to where I want to be, and it doesn't do it. Maybe I just don't understand how it works. So we're right here. That was the high, or the not the high, but the top of that piece. So we're going to watch. Is that this whole piece? That's what I left off from the other day. Yeah. And that's the bummer. The other side of it is just like the frustrating thing about trading is like getting into this mess, and this is one of the reasons why I try not to trade with buyers and sellers, because it puts me in a weird spot. And you got to practice this stuff, guys. It's not easy, but it is. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. You've got to be able to get through a couple of these things and just be good with, hey, I'm probably, I don't know. I've had so many. I've gotten to the point where I realized that I'm going to have losers. I'm going to have winners. I could have a great week this week, and it'd be phenomenal, and then lose it all next week, or not lose it all, but you know what I'm saying? Like my emotional baggage that I'm bringing to the trade is a player in this game, and I have to be aware of that. I only trade, no more than 3 trades a day. If I hit my first trade and it works, I really don't go back and trade more. Unless it's really, I usually just turn it off and go about doing my other stuff. So, that's kind of how I handle this. If this does go up, this is a nice impulse. We've got to get through this guy here. Excuse me, I'm a mess. Monday morning, what did I do this weekend? And then, just keep following it. And this is this is why having the setup is so helpful, because I can just watch this play out. And yeah, I'm not correct on this stuff, or I'm not nailing it, but I'm also not guessing. I'm not playing, like, oh, maybe this is going to happen or this is going to happen. I listen to people talk about things, and I think it's just, there's not a lot there. I mean, you got to be able to say, well, what gets you in and what gets you out? I mean, I can see that from here, right? You just see that, price is going to come back and pull back into the wash, and, and you have a stop, then you're at least, you're good. You can at least say, okay, I can go, I can go farm this and see where, the opportunity is, right? If anything, it's, this is going to be a wash right here, right? That's why I have the 2000, because I want to sit back and see, we have 3 of the elements so far, 4 of the elements, right? Our impulse leg, our wash, and then our kill zone up here, our pressure cooker up here. I know I should just make this a template. So if price does come back into here and then pull back down, I can trade that. I have a stop. I can say, okay, I'm going to hide behind this guy. That's a huge stop. I don't know if I'm going to do that. Is that 85? $85 a contract. Wow. So, that's more than I want to spend. I'm like around, I'm a $20 guy, because it's the amount of contracts I can put on it. If I did that, that would be like, and it didn't work out. It'd be like, it just demoralizes you. The more money you put into it, the harder it gets. It's a balance of the whole game. And you have to track your results. What's your my win percentage sucks, but my profits are okay because I trade 3 to 1. All right, guys, we'll talk later.